What's up, guys? This is my analysis of agents and whether they can survive in today and tomorrow's meta. Now, like I said on some other videos, I didn't really want to go into the future, but this is where I'm going to. So, this is mine on agents. I'll just leave them up here right now for you to see what they are. Uh, plus Master Hyperion, but don't have to worry about him because most of you probably already know him. So, okay. So I split this up. Don't worry about 7 completed. That's just a place marker. So I put together a list of the today's meta. All right. And what the current threats are to agents. So this I put in a very, very large threat. The thing with Inzectors is that they are not affected by Soul Drain, which hurts. They can get a big 2400 monster out, and if you pop anything with Hyperion, they can get another effect off, which is awful. And you basically have to run into everything they have, and even if you do, they still search with things like Zetacaliber. Sorry, I had a little bit of hiccups. In my opinion, Dragonfly and the rest of the Inzector gang can really, really hurt. Can really, really hurt agents. And the reason that I put them in top tier pain for agents was because there's barely anything you can do to side against them. There's literally 2 cards that I have that can side against agent. I can side against Inzectors. All right, moving on. These are all the decks that I think pose pose a threat, and these are ones that I do not think pose a threat. Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Bear. He represents the Fire Fist monsters. I think these do pose a threat because something like Tiger King, yeah, Tiger King's the rank 4. Tiger King can negate Hyperion's effect, can negate Christie's effect, and this deck doesn't barely focuses on special summoning, and it's all fire monsters, and their effects do not activate in the graveyard similar to Dragonfly, so Soul Drain does not hurt them. In fact, I don't even know what does hurt this deck, because nobody's really had time to side against them. I would say Soul Taker is probably one of the main things, that and MST. Windups. Windups will always be a threat until Shark goes to 1, where it should be. I'm just going to, real quick, Shark to 1, Rat to 2, Zenmaiti to 2. That's what I think should go up. 2 of them should go down, and 1 should go up. That's what I think would make windups less, well, sacky. And that's an awful term because it's disgusting, but it's what most people know. Gravekeepers. Gravekeepers completely ran out of the meta, but there are still some people who run Gravekeepers, and those who do run Gravekeepers have a very good matchup against agents. If Necro Valley is on the field, agents cannot banish for Hyperion from the graveyard. That is where you're most likely banishing your agents from. Earth doesn't last long, even if you synchro with it, or tribute it, or do whatever, it's going to be in the grave. It's not lasting on the field. So, if you don't have access to that, excuse me, you're not going to have a very good time. So Gravekeepers, plus, most of their monsters have 2,000 attack, so with because of Necro Valley, so Venus boosted by Gotchi cannot get over them, unless you want to point for point. Grappa, that represents Dark Worlds. Soul Drain and Shadowing Imprisoning Mirror are the best things you can do against this. Shadowing Imprisoning Mirror just negates everything and anything that they want to do, and Soul Drain, which is a lot worse to side against them. Because Grappa, it does negate a lot of their effects, such as Snow and Brow and Beige. And if you run into someone who doesn't really know what they're doing, a Gold or a Silva, then Soul Drain will be nice. But keep in mind that getting Grappa, Dragon Lord of Dark World, back to the field by sending a card from your field back, a Dark World card, does not start a chain. If you go to Soul Drain, it says cannot activate their effects that start a chain. This is not a chain. So Dark Worlds still pose a threat, and plus, even if they don't have their field spell, you still have to pop. Grappa still comes back, and they are not hesitant to point for point your Hyperion if they do not have, especially because it won't even be a point for point. They'll actually get over you if they have their field spell. Evil Swarms. Evil Swarms are really, really harmful against this deck. Ophion completely shuts down this deck in every way possible. Christie does hurt, but that's only getting Christie out. Plus, they'll probably decide in some Soul Takers for your Christie, and then they'll go ahead, because they'll generate hand advantage so fast if you have Christie off the field, on the field, I mean. And then once your Christie's gone, they'll just completely swarm, and they'll get an Ophion out, and then you won't be in a very good position, considering you cannot special summon anything, because you're just in a bad position. So, okay, sorry, I forgot to go over what you can side up against Gravekeepers. MST, MST. And then if you decide to run Rivalry over Gozen, which is probably not a good idea, but you can still do it, then that's one thing. And the last thing is Consecrated Light, considering every single Gravekeeper is a dark, I believe. Consecrated Light will hurt them strongly. Windups, just the normal stuff. Torrential, Bottomless, Soul Taker. Yeah. And then possibly DD Crow because of Rat, but I doubt you're going to be doing that. Alright, so Grappa, like I said how to do Dark Worlds. Alright, so Evil Swarm, how you do this? Well, one is Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. Now, I've gone over this many times. I'll show you a agent deck. The darks in agents are expendable. Chaos Sorcerer, Gores, Tour Guide, Tragodia, Spirit Reaper. They are expendable. You do not need them for the deck to accomplish. So, alright guys, I'm back. Sorry I was being stupid. I went to some stuff I shouldn't have went to. Yeah. Anyway, what I wanted to show you, what I was going to do was to show you how agents don't really care about their darks too much, considering all they run is Gores, Trag, Tour Guide, Chaos Sorcerer, and maybe another two that I'm missing. So, Shadow Imprisoning Mirror will not harm you too much. Evil Swarms, they will be shut down, same as Grappa. Dark Worlds. Mermail, Abyss, Megalo. This is where Soul Drain shines, because every single Atlantean starts a chain. Also, Mermail, also you're in Sandganon Agents. Mermail, what's it called? Abyss Lind is a chain that activates in the graveyard. So Mermails really do not have a good time getting over Soul Drain. They will be set. If they do not run MST, they will have a bad time. Even if they do, you're going to be running multiple copies of Soul Drain. So, alright, now on to the non-threats. Everybody says Fire Kings are going to ruin the meta. I don't think they will, because DD Crow is a card. Soul Drain is a card. These will not let them have that good time. And plus, if you're on Rivalry, Rivalry is a card. Considering Rivalry sends, it does not destroy. So also, you can point for point their Garunics, and therefore their Garunics will not get its effect. Though they can still get it back, but that's not very easy considering the main way of getting it back is its effect. So, therefore, Fire Kings do not pose much of a threat. Six Samurais. Six Samurais, in my opinion, do not pose much of a threat. Christie shuts down almost every deck on this list, except for Inzektors, Gravekeepers, and that's it. That's the only decks that Christia does not shut down. So Christia will ruin that. Plus, a good Torrential Tribute will hurt them a lot. And if you happen to run Gozen Match, then they will also be having a very bad time. Bottomless hurts everything. Elemental Heroes. Elemental Heroes are absolutely ruined by Gozen, and you don't really and you can work around Gozen. So keep that in mind. And yeah, Light Pulsar. Alright, that's Chaos Dragons. Soul Drain, Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, shut down their Light Pulsars, shut down their Dark Flares, shut down their Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. They have nothing, so you're pretty good when it comes to that. Geargias. The highest... Okay, that is obviously a troll price. Nobody would ever pay $102 for a Geargia armor. Maybe 10. I don't know. Yeah, 10, sure. 7, sure. But 101, that's a troll price. Okay. Anyway, the biggest monster in the Geargia arsenal is Brado. And that is even if they are running Karakuri Karakuri Geargias, which are not popular. Geargia Machina are much more popular. So you really won't be having much of a hard time getting over a Geargia Machina. And if they do happen to get out of Burrito, then you can use one of your traps against it, you can Soul Taker it, or of course if they get it out and you don't have your Hyperion out yet, you can just use your effect on it. Dino Rabbits. Dino Rabbits. No, this deck does not care about Dino Rabbits. Dino Rabbits have an awful matchup. This is one of the only decks, in my opinion, in the meta which this has an awful matchup against. That and Dark Worlds. It doesn't have a... Well, Dark Worlds... but... Also, Mermails... Yeah, okay, never mind. This deck, Dark Worlds, Mermails... Those are the only decks, in my opinion, that Dino Rabbits have a very bad matchup against. It has okay matchup against some others, but this has an awful matchup. Everything you're doing is an inherent special summon. You get all your monsters are big enough to get over everything they love in life. 2,400 is nothing for this deck. Jeez, I mean, you can get over it so fast. I mean, Dolka can get rid of your Venus, you can get rid of your Earth, but hell, that sends him to the grave? Okay, I'm gonna banish one for Hyperion. Oh, your Lagia can't negate that because that's an inherent special summon. I'll show you what they look like. Volzars. Look at this. Okay, Solda isn't meta at all. Alright. Lagia cannot negate an inherent special summon. Your spell or trap, whatever. Plus you can just bait out a Lagia so easily and then it's a dead card on the field. Dolka. During either player's turn, when the monster's effect activates, you can detach one XYZ, negate the activation if you do destroy it. Sure, I mean, actually not, I don't think that you can negate I don't think you can negate a Hyperion summon with a Dolka, actually. If you can, then I'm not, then never mind. My argument is invalid. But, really, they're not going to be having too much of a good time against you at all. They're going to try to stop you searching. I don't think that Lagia, which is much more common now than Dolka. Dolka was the card last format that everybody went for. Now, if they have a Lagia out, they're messed up. They're not gonna be doing anything to save themselves. I don't think Dino Rabbit competes almost at all. Plus, Rabbit is a very good contender to go to 1 or get banned. This, windups, hell, even Fire Fists maybe. Dark Worlds, not really. Mermails, yes. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to go into side deck. This isn't really a side deck. You shouldn't really look at this like a side deck. You should look at it, what are your options? Christia, most people main one. I main one, side deck another. I don't even have to go over Christia. No special summons. Okay, thank you. Lackluster Soldier. This is very splashable in Agents. You're running a lot of lights and darks. You can make this very easily. I did not include Chaos Sorcerer because Chaos Sorcerer is not nearly as good. It's just a miniature one that most people run, including me. Consecrated Light. This is not a very common card. I love it though. It is a light fairy, making it an option. Giving it, well, 1, it's a Christia target. 2, it negates everything that evil swarms have. And also, well, Dark Worlds, I would not run this against because their Grapha can just destroy it. But with Evil Swarms, they have barely anything to get over this. Great card. Great card. All right, Jupiter. I think Jupiter's going to be seeing more play. I run one in the main deck, one in the side deck. My agent deck will be coming out right after this, so go watch that. You know, just because I'm cool. All right, you can select one face-up light bearer you can control by removing from play one agent. This card gains 800 attack. All right, what does that get over? That gets over Ophion. What does that get over? That points for Pointerus and gets over Adrius. What does that get over? That gets over all the Evolzars. Gets over Light Pulsar. Points for points Beret. Gets over. Yeah, well, I mean, you're not going to be really. Actually, doesn't really do too great against E-Heroes. Does okay against 6 Sams. Just pretty good against Inzectors, even though you're most likely not even going to have to be using its effect on Inzectors. So, just Jupiter. It's going to see a lot of play. I mainly run it because of Evil Swarm matchup. Oh, also Mermail matchup. This gets over Mermails. That's amazing. D-Crow. This deck fell out of play, but I think it's probably going to come back. A lot of people are starting to main it, especially side it. Hurts Chaos Dragons. Hurts Fire Kings. A lot of things hurt Fire Kings. That's why I don't think they'll be meta. Kinda hurts Evil Swarms with the Kerkulon plays. Hurts Dark Worlds tremendously. Can hurt windups. So just D-Crow, good card in general. Mystical Space Typhoon, this gets rid of Necro Valley, gets rid of most of your problems. It's a great card. Prohibition. This is a card you run if you're scared of something. In general, you can use this against an Inzector Hornet. You can use this against the Windup Shark, Graph of the Dragon Lord of Darkworld, Mermail Bismegalo, Fire King Avatar Garunix, Shien. Prohibition. Good card. Soul Taker. E-Heroes. Light Pulsar, especially. All of E-Heroes. Chaos Dragons, especially Light Pulsar. Yurgias. Dark World, so it'll just keep coming back. Mermails. Yeah. Inzectors. System down. Yurgias. Machinas. And when Phantom Beastcrafts come out. Phantom Beastcrafts. Bottomless Trap Hole hurts everything in this deck. Everything that I listed except for Geargias and Inzectors. Hurts everything. Because Geargias, they can just flip summon all they want and you can't bottomless it. Gozen hurts so many decks. A lot of decks now, though, are only hurt by Rivalry, such as Evil Swarms, such as Gravekeepers, such as... No, not that. Such as... Yeah, that's it. Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. Gravekeepers, Dark Worlds, Evil Swarms. I didn't even remember that Inzectors were dark. Well, there you go. Seaside Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. What am I talking about? You don't need your Soul Drain. Even though Soul Drain, great card. Run it against this. Yeah. Also this. Torrential Tribute is Torrential Tribute. I don't even have to get into that. Thank you for watching. I hope this helped you. I hope if you're running agents, like I most likely will, along with another deck that I will get into, if you do not already know, this will help you out a little bit. Thank you for watching. Hope this helped. Hope it gave you some insight, and I'll talk to you later.